Joe Mantegna, I've got a couple more questions for you. Fat Tony, who is this based on here? What do we got? What do we got? Fat Tony.
Fat Tony, was Godfather III had just come up. This was this was early 1991.
Yeah.
When I get the call saying, "Hey, The Simpsons," which had only been on, this was their third season.
Yes.
Are interested in you playing this character of Fat Tony, and they send me the script, and I think, okay, it's this kind of mob guy from that world, but I'm out playing Joey Zaza at the time in Godfather, and I'm thinking, well, I don't want to come in and do that character. I mean, that's kind of weird. It was like, I'll be getting calls from Puzo and Coppola saying, "What are you doing?" And I'm thinking, but I like the idea, and I love the way the character was written. So I show up and I think, okay, what kind of voice should I give it so I don't sound like Joey Zaza? Then I remember my dear Uncle Willie, who's been my travel partner, since I was in my early 20s, because my dad passed away when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And so my Uncle Willie was kind of like my guy right up until he passed, in his 90s. But Uncle Willie talks like this. This is his voice. This is, that was Willie, And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm just getting ready to start doing the episode here with the whole cast of The Simpsons, and I'm thinking, I'm going to just do Willie and see if anybody stops me, So I start doing the lines like, yeah, okay, this guy's over there, and nobody says anything. I'm thinking, all right, so far so good. I'll just do it, And I do the episode, and then a few weeks later, I get a call. Hey, will you be interested in doing that guy again? We kind of like that character. Yeah, sure, I'll do it again. And of course, Willie got a big kick out of it. Next thing I know, like I say, I'm now in year 31, I believe. I guess if you do the math, yeah, there we go. And Fat Tony and I have a very strong bond here.
So you're doing your old Uncle Willie?
Oh, yeah, I still do Uncle Willie. In fact, I brought him with me to one of the recording sessions, like maybe year 15 or something. He happened to be visiting me in Chicago, from Chicago. And I brought him to the studios and said, "Hey, everybody, I want you to meet somebody." "Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? I'm Joey's Uncle Willie." They're all like, "Oh my God, ground zero for Fat Tony. There he is."
Fantastic. Yeah. I love it. And what was it like to be called up by, I imagine, Coppola or Puzo or whoever, to say, well, would you like to be part of the Godfather Part 3?
That was pretty amazing. And I'll tell you one funny little bit about that.
Yes.
I knew I was up for the part for Joey Zaza. But it wasn't a done deal yet, but I just knew I was up for it. So it was a Friday, and I remember my wife saying to me, "Would you go over and pick up this whatever it was, the linguine with clams at the Italian place right around the corner?" Mm-hmm. So I go over to the restaurant right around the corner where I was living in Studio City at the time. And as I walked in, the owner of the place looks at me and goes, "Joe, you son of a gun, you're going to be in The Godfather." And I go, "What?" He goes, "You're going to be in the movie. Come on, don't give me that. You're going to be in The Godfather." I said, and I knew I was up for this role, but that was it. And I said, "Well, what are you talking about? What do you mean I'm in?" He goes, my nephew, he works in the office in New York. He said they put your picture up on the wall next to Al Pacino. It's the guy you name, Joe Mantegna, Godfather. Hey. And I said, "Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that. I'm just, give me the linguine. I got to go, I run back to the house and, of course, jump on the phone, call my agent. I said, the pizza guy just told me I'm in the movie. He goes, "Oh, I was going to call you. I was just going to call you. We just got the call." Because literally the nephew was working in the casting office in New York. And once they make those decisions, that's what they do. They put they put on a wall are all the characters that are going to be in the movie. And so he calls his uncle right away. Yeah. And of course, before anybody calls me. So I'm thinking, this is pretty good. Maybe it's a good sign that the pizza guy's letting me know I'm playing this role before anybody else does. So.
Did Brando find out from his pizza guy?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is that how it all works?
You never know. I don't know.
Go find a pizza guy to let him know.
I'm glad it wasn't going to pick up like Chinese though, or some other kind of food. I think it was apropos that it would be Italian.
Let the calzone out of the bag. Yeah, you wouldn't have known, or you would not have known about.
No.
Somebody who didn't know the nephew on the inside. No. I mean. And then just being on the set with Pacino and Coppola had to have been for you at the time, too.
Yeah,
you've obviously done Mammoth and done so many great things.
The whole experience. I remember when I first arrived, because we shot for a long time in Rome. Mm-hmm. And when I got to the Cinecittà studio, which is legendary anyway, with Fellini and all of that history, I remember getting to the studio the first day. And, sound stages, as you know, there's these huge buildings with big, thick doors to soundproof them. So and they say, "Oh, you go through that big so it's that stage door, and that's where you should go. AD will meet you to bring you to to the where you got to go." And I remember push. So here I'm in Rome. I get to the soundstage door. As I push the door open, all of a sudden I hear the strains of music coming from inside. And it was the orchestra rehearsing for the scene of, because the movie opens with this kind of like a party scene. And as I push the door, I'm hearing the orchestra playing da 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 da. And of course, you've heard this at every kid's birthday party and weddings and stuff all these years prior. And now I'm thinking, this is not a tape. This is not the radio. This is not a party. This is the orchestra who's actually playing that song for this movie, which is going to be the next installment of The Godfather. And I'm thinking, as my friend Vinny Guastafaro told me when I got the role, he says, "Hey man, you're going to be in the Italian Star Wars." And I thought, hey, yeah, I guess I am. I guess that's
a hell of a cantina, no doubt about it.
Right.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.